I now turn to the Vice Chair for his opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman Murkowski. In 1970, President Nixon signaled a shift in U.S. policy away from an era of termination and toward self-determination for tribal nations. Congress responded with a bipartisan promise. Let tribes run federal programs that serve their own people and fund them fairly. That promise became what we all know as ISDEA. It's not a pilot program, it is not DEI, it is not optional. It is part of our federal responsibility to meet our trust and treaty obligations on a government-to-government basis. Over time and across agencies, ISDEA has scaled up. At DOI and IHS, there are thousands of tribal self-determination contracts and self-governance compacts in place. Tribes are operating clinics, police forces, schools and service centers close to home, and doing it cheaper and better than the federal government could. The takeaway is simple. When tribes lead, outcomes improve. That success deserves protection, not second guessing. But today we are seeing an erosion of our responsibility, and I am concerned. This administration is downsizing the federal government and adding more layers of bureaucratic review that is stalling self-determination, slow-rolling 638 funds needed to deliver life-saving health care, public safety, and basic tribal government services does not honor tribal sovereignty. It undermines it. Congress made clear that ISDEA tribes decide how to run federal programs and how to best serve their citizens. When the administration micromanages approved funds, second-guesses tribal decisions, and requires loyalty to the president's policies to get money they are owed, that is not sovereignty. That's paternalism. I'm also concerned that cuts to the federal workforce are hollowing out the staff needed to negotiate these 638 agreements, answer phones even, and move the money. Tribes can't put 638 funding to work if there's no one around to sign off. Staffing gaps means service gaps, and people suffer. Self-determination is about exercising tribal sovereignty, full stop. Delays, freezes, cancellations, and new conditions take tribal choices and conditions and control away. We've already seen a clinic and hospital services rolled back and tribal employees told there are no funds for their next paycheck. And that is not efficiency. That's going back on a promise Congress made 50 years ago when we passed this law. We should celebrate ISDEA's anniversary by getting back to the basics, pushing dollars out the door, trusting tribal decision-making, and not making tribes run obstacle courses to access funds. They are not a grant recipient, and the federal government is not the Ford Foundation. We have a special legal and moral obligation under trust and treaty obligations. And that's how we can ensure self-determination endures for the next 50 years and beyond. Madam Chair, I'd like to enter into the record a report prepared by the Brookings Institution that details what's at stake for tribes when the federal government stops funding, including 638.
Without objection.
Thank you to our witnesses, and I look forward to your testimony.
Thank you, Senator